It was a sun summoner.
I know that's right.
Hi, I'm LadyJenevia. When I uploaded my recent video entitled Why Netflix's Shadow and Bone is Important for Asians, I had no idea that a new trailer was about to drop on the same day that I was uploading it. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, I will link it up in a card. Go watch it. I collaborated with one of my favorite creative people on this platform. It's Divya, which was very exciting for me because I love her videos, and I was very happy that she was willing to contribute to one of my long-winded analyses of entertainment media.
She's incredible. She's a beautiful person.
If you are new here, I've done multiple videos already about Netflix's Shadow and Bone, ranging from the adaptation of the source material, an interview with one of the show's writers, Christina Strain, and discussions of different promotional material that has been released this year. Feel free to catch up on any of those videos if you haven't already done so. But on to today's video, there is a new trailer, and a lot of the material in it does seem to overlap with the teaser trailer that was already released, but then it also seems to sort of fill in some of the blanks that we didn't know were there. I'm not doing a reaction because I don't like making reactions for trailers. I've tried doing them before, and they're not fun. That's the conclusion I've come to. Ultimately, I would rather talk about the material. I also logged into my Netflix media account and was looking through some of the more recent press photos that had been uploaded, and I was shook when I finally saw what I have been waiting to see.
Yes!
Luke Pasqualino as David. The way I have been waiting for this, the light of my life, David. For anyone who is new here, I've been saying on and off in my Shadow and Bone videos that I love David, and this is who I have been wanting to see in promotional material.
I'm glad you brought it up because I've been dying to talk about it for a fucking hot minute. First of all,
keep in mind I went into reading the books already predisposed to like him because I knew that this was the character that Luke was going to be playing. So I'm reading these books and I'm enjoying his material, the way he was described. Now, correct me if I'm misremembering since I read these books last year, but David seemed to be described as this sort of geeky, awkward character. He wears glasses, and it was very funny to me at the time of reading it that they had chosen Luke Pasqualino, of all people, to play him.
I don't know how I do it, but I do.
But nonetheless, I was into it. Then, lo and behold, we finally get our first glimpse at him, and he doesn't look geeky at all. They didn't even try. His hair is done. He's got this gorgeous, vibrant purple kefta.
Alexa, tell me I'm stunning.
This is not at all what I was expecting. I mean, I'm into it, obviously, but I'm also kind of sad he's not wearing the glasses. I don't know, just let me feel the full range of my emotions. But you can totally tell that he's looking at Zhenya in this photo. I live. Also, the awkward tension in his body language because he's into Zhenya, but he's also very awkward. Yes, here for it.
Oh, I'm for that. I'm all for that.
I'm still sad that we have not seen him in the trailer, but I will absolutely take this high fashion emo look that he's serving me. Thank you.
Oh my god, thank you.
Getting into the content of the actual trailer now, I'm not going to discuss every detail since a fair bit of what we see in it was already shown in the teaser trailer. I would rather focus on certain bits that are newer to the audience that is looking through the promotional media and paying more attention to the details. I'm going to go through it sequentially. So the first thing that seemed new was this guy. Don't really know who that's supposed to be, and he's telling this woman about what happened in the Shadow Fold. So this stands out to me for a couple of reasons. I've said this time and time again, but a lot of people who watch my channel are not subscribed to me. I think it's something like 90% or more in my analytics. So I'm going to explain this like you are a person who has never watched my channel before. I did not like how in the Shadow and Bone book trilogy, you were entirely limited to whatever was happening from Alina's perspective. I think it deprived the audience a lot of interesting material about the characters, the plot, and the larger Grisha universe. Presumably, this is happening when Alina is still passed out from the exertion of using her powers for the first time in many years. Certainly the first time that she can recall using them anyway. So either this character is someone I don't remember because I have not reread the books a bunch of times. This could be a character that exists as a narrative device to explain to the audience about what has happened if they haven't already read the books. It certainly came in handy for the trailer to have someone verbally explaining what had just happened, but I'm actually leaning towards the idea that this lady he's speaking to is a problem.
That's suspicious.
I'm jumping around a little bit, but we do see later in the trailer that it seems like maybe the people in Ketterdam have found out about Alina and her powers, and that might be what sends the crows off on a mission together, but I'll talk more about that later. So this woman could be a key player in transporting that news to other places, or considering her fair complexion and blonde hair, maybe she's Fjerden, and that's who she's leaking the information to. If you watched my previous video going through the material of the teaser trailer, I honed in on the fact that Alina has a split lip when she arrives at the Darkling's palace, but she doesn't have that when she first meets the Darkling and he tests her powers. That led me to believe that the Fjerdens attacking the Darkling's carriage, which is something that happens in the books when she's being transported to the Darkling's palace, is going to happen in the show, even if we haven't seen anything to completely give away that it's going to happen in any of these trailers. The other possibility is that she serves a completely different purpose in the story that I have not even begun to theorize. So what do you think this exchange is about? Let me know your theories in the comments.
Dispute that. Thank you, darling.
Another thing I noticed about not only these characters, but the trailer in general, is that this is the first time we've heard people use the term Sun Summoner. Obviously, if you've read the Shadow and Bone trilogy already, then you know that Alina is the Sun Summoner, but I like the way that the marketing team for this show has done everything so incrementally. That first teaser that they dropped a while back was just a glimpse of Morozova's stag with a Ben Barnes voiceover playing on top.
You and I are going to change the world.
After that, they have gradually revealed more as the weeks and months have passed. Character posters where the faces aren't fully visible, promotional images, a teaser trailer, and now we have the full trailer. In general, you also see a lot more of Alina using her powers. In the teaser trailer, you just see that wide shot of the ship with the beams of light shooting out and destroying the Volcra that had previously been swarming it. But this time, you actually see her lighting up our world. We love to see it. Jessie Mei Li, the new It Girl, exactly.
Hey, Queen. Girl, you have done it again. Constantly raising the bar for us all and doing it flawlessly.
By the way, I feel like I forgot to mention this in some of my other Shadow and Bone videos, but there was a line in, I believe it was the teaser trailer, where Benny Benny Boo Boo says to Queen Jessie Mei Li, "What are you?" Let's all just take a moment to acknowledge that that line is deeply entrenched in socio-political commentary. Do you know how many times mixed people get asked, "What are you?" Hell, even if you're not mixed, but if you are diaspora, you will probably get that question a fair bit throughout your life. It's insufferable, the absolute caucasity of the Darkling. But of course, it's only appropriate that he would be the one to say that line, because he is what? The bad guy.
You are going to jail. Period.
This trailer has more material of the crows. I know a lot of book fans have been eagerly anticipating any tiny bit of crumbs to reveal what it is that these characters are going to be doing in this show. They get offered a job, as do a number of other people, in exchange for a bounty of 1 million Kruger. Now, hear me out on this one. The trailer seems to be implying that they are being sent to hunt down Alina and bring her back to Ketterdam. It's definitely possible that this is what's going on, but as someone who does video editing, not as well as I would like, but that's neither here nor there, I'm a little bit suspicious of the way this has been cut together. When you hear the voice say, "Bring me Alina Starkov," you don't actually see who's saying it. And I went back and forth trying to figure out if this voice was the same man who had just announced the bounty, and I'm just not sure. For one, the line, "Bring me Alina Starkov," sounds like it was either recorded in post,
"Bring me Alina Starkov,"
or if it wasn't recorded in post, it was recorded at a different time with a different audio setup than the first line of the bounty being given.
"The prize is 1 million Kruger."
The other thing you hear is Kaz saying, "She's real." Again, that's not very specific.
She's real.
It definitely could be Alina, and I could be doing all of this speculation over nothing, but when you give me crumbs and expect me to try to not make bread, well, that's your own fault for underestimating me. I might not be successful, but it doesn't mean I won't attempt to pick this thing apart.
My lips were made for talking, and that's just what they'll do.
Jumping ahead, Alina asks, "Am I a prisoner?" And the Darkling responds, "All of Ravka is, until you and I enter the fold." Scoff! Loud scoff. Why exactly is Ravka imprisoned by the Shadow Fold? Benny Boo Boo. Should I spoil it or should I just shh? I don't know who's watching this, judging by the comments that I've gotten on some of my other Shadow and Bone videos. I feel like I have a mix of book fans and people who haven't read the books that are watching, so I feel like I should just shh. But by the way, does anyone know what I'm referencing when I keep saying Benny Boo Boo? It's from a really bad rom-com from the early 2000s. Brownie points to anyone who knows it without Googling it. Come on, older millennials and Gen Xers, do not let me down.
I'm waiting!
Another thing we get to see a lot more of in this trailer, Kefta! We are finally getting more of the fashion looks.
Looks are fierce. Personality, fierce.
And we also get to see more of Baghra, finally, the legend. You know, I'm so glad that Zoe is being given the opportunity to upgrade her fantasy association. Before, she was Madame Hooch, but now she gets to be in a far superior fantasy series that is actually inclusive to the BIPOC community and wasn't written by a big old TERF. Love that for her.
This is a place for legends.
Justice for Baghra. Only book readers will know why I'm saying that, but yes, I'm saying it. Justice for Baghra.
Why do men... Why do they... Why do they breathe?
I have a few more things I want to go over before I close things off in this video. The next part is the face grab. If you watched my video about the teaser trailer, you already know I don't like that. If you like someone, don't touch their face. Are you trying to mess up their skin? Do you have products to put together a 10 to 12 step skincare routine in the Grishaverse? Or are you just overworking your tailors to make sure that you look okay? That's what I thought. Rude.
The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
This time, when we see this interaction playing out, you get to see tears glistening in his eyes. So I have two trains of thought about this. The rational train of thought is that I have a vague recollection of some sort of chatter about how the writers and actors wanted to try to make the non-platonic tension between these two characters a bit more mutual, a bit less problematic, as much as it can be anyway, when you have a vulnerable young girl being aggressively snatched up by a centuries-old bad guy, but whatever.
Electric chair.
So this would probably be a moment where he's opening up a bit more about his thoughts and feelings, the things he's worried about related to the future of the Grisha, given the anxieties they seem to be having because of the rapid developments in technology and weaponry. And Benny Boo Boo is an actor, darling. Did everyone else watch The Punisher? Because he showed in that job that he can make you still feel some sympathy for a really bad guy.
I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
However, the aggressive, visceral train of thought that I have is still, you are an old man. You are up to no good. All of this is entirely your fault. Get away from her.
And guess where he going? To prison!
Just because a man is hot doesn't mean you should trust him. Look at my face. Does this look like the face of someone who will put up with some manipulative tomfoolery because he's hot? No. Stop it. Let me talk about something happier before I get myself annoyed again. Mal, Alina, hugging. And what is that I see? Height difference. I know I've seen photos of Jessie and Archie together before, so it's not like I didn't know about this, but it just doesn't really register the same way. The context is completely different. When it's just photos of them together, they're friends, they're colleagues, but when you have the romantic coupling that they are portraying, and you see it all put together with the editing, the music, the moody color design, the angst, and there's a height difference, that is when I go feral. I'm going to ship them. If I don't already ship them, that is, I just feel that this is going to happen. He's giving me soft himbo vibes, and I'm here for it.
I'll find my way back to you.
I feel this on a spiritual level. I'll find my way back to you. How did a couple of trailers do more to make me invested in Alina and Mal as a couple than 3 entire books? I will not apologize. Get mad about it if you want to. I said what I said. Little girl.
I said what I said.
Okay, let me get annoyed again, briefly. I don't entirely remember how much I've outright talked about this in some of my other Shadow and Bone videos, but I know that I have thought this for a while now. The whole Nina and Matthias thing, it's not my vibe. The whole storyline of,
oh, I'm part of this group of fascists that wants to hunt down and exterminate a group of people, but now I'm going to fall in love with a person from that group that I've been actively going out of my way to hunt down and exterminate.
I despise stories like these. The real world implications of stories like these, they're extremely tone deaf and insensitive. Hollywood loves to do nasty things like make fiction where not fall in love with Jewish people during World War II.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
And in case anyone is still confused, let me put this in extremely contemporary terms. If Hollywood were to try to commission a story about a white supremacist in some sort of gang that was going around and terrorizing and assaulting Asians, and then made one of those gang members have some sort of love story where they fall in love with an Asian, I would find out who does the housekeeping of these executives that signed off on that, and then I would bribe those housekeepers to let me go into their house and Amelie it. Remember when Amelie messed with that man's flat because he was a terrible person and it completely ruined his vibe? Yeah, I will Amelie your life for being ignorant.
I can do a lot of things, and people find that intimidating, which is not my fault.
Now let me be very clear here, I am not telling you, the random person watching this, that you can't ship them. You can ship whatever you want. But if I'm just here to give my opinion is that I do not care about this duo as a romantic couple. What is interesting, however, is that it seems like in the trailer, we are getting a glimpse of Matthias being locked up, so the timeline of that is a little bit more intriguing. It could be that we're getting a more clear glimpse of what portion of their story is going to be played out in the show. Right now, my best guess would be that we are going to see them meet, that we are going to see them go on their little journey together that ends with Matthias being locked up where he deserves. Bye!
Let me pretend I care. Okay, I'm done.
When I was going through this trailer again and again and again, I spotted this shot of Inej seemingly being attacked by Volcra. At first I was confused because I was wondering if this meant that the crows would be present at the beginning when Alina first realizes that she has powers and everybody else realizes it too. But that seemed like it would be a confusing creative choice. Inej seems to be in a conflict with both Volcra and Grisha in the different shots that they've shown of this scene. So I'm just assuming that the crows are on some sort of boat to cross the fold. Are they coming or going from Ketterdam in this scene? It's really too early for me to tell. We see Alina interacting with the stag, and I was kind of surprised that they would show that in the trailer, but then I went and grabbed my copy of Shadow and Bone and skimmed through the last few chapters to try to refresh myself on some of the details, and the conclusion that I came to when comparing it with the various shots that they show in the trailer is that when Alina is done up in this yellow kefta, which is super cute by the way, that is going to be the real climax of the season. I'm about to talk about big spoilers, so if you don't know or you don't want to know, thank you for watching this far and I will see you in the next one. Okay? Okay. Now, hear me out. Look at this shot of Alina from the trailer. Look very closely at it. I think they have attempted to CGI out the fact that she has the collar on here. I see you. I see what you're doing, Netflix. Well, you're not going to get away with it without me being very suspicious.
That's suspicious.
Only children would ship the heroine of a story with a man who puts her in a collar without her consent. If you want to wear a collar, have at it. I will not shame you for it. That is your choice. But if you are a creep who forces a person to wear a collar against their will, jail.
It is weird, and you look weird, okay? I'm just gonna leave that there.
You can see Alina reaching out. She's distressed, and you see these flashback shots of her as a little baby with baby Mal, and then you see the hand with the injury. We all know about the hand, right? Let me tell you something. That hand thing really annoyed me a lot when I read it for the first time in the book, until they explained it, and I went, okay, I guess that makes sense. But we can all fill in the subtext here. The Darkling threatens Mal, because that is the love of her life, in order to get Alina to do what he wants. You know what that's called? Coercion! What's that? I'm sending the Darkling to prison? Good, it's what he deserves. So then she uses her power, and then hopefully, presumably, Mal and Alina escape into the night to get away from Benny Boo Boo. That's about all I have to say about this trailer. I know some people are really excited to have more glimpses of Zoya, but to be honest, I don't think we get enough of her character development in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, especially not in the first book. I really was not a fan of her when I read that first book, which is basically what they are sourcing from to make this season. I don't know yet, obviously. I think the creative team will make me like her more without making me wait as long as the books did, so that'll be nice, presuming that it happens. What were your favorite parts of the trailer? Do you have any interesting fan theories? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read them. Don't forget to check out my other Shadow and Bone videos and subscribe for more content since it's April, which means the show is almost here. Huh? See you in the next one. Bye.